Hello and welcome guys to our short video presentation. My friend and I are GDT student at University of Goroka. GDT means Graduate Diploma in Teaching, previously used to call PGD, Postgraduate Diploma in Teaching. My name is Stanley MANA and my friend's name is Sammy ALFRED. Our presentation will be based on interview format. In our presentation, we will talk about the idea or ways of identifying gifted students. However, there are many ways in which we will identify gifted students. Here we will basically talk about the ways in which you will identify gifted students in the school context only. According to our research, we identify 6 points of identifying gifted students in the school context. My friend will talk about 3 points and I will talk about the 3 points.
Right, good evening all. I agree with my brother Stanley MANA for introduction. We'll be elaborating more about the identification of the gifted students in the classroom. Right. My name is Sammy ALFRED. I'm one of the GDT students at the University of Goroka. My friend and I will discuss about the topic as introduced already, the gifted students in the classroom. Right, we have 6 points to be discussed. My friend Stanley will take other 3 and I will take other 3. My 3 points is to identify the gifted students which they have an original ideas. Alright, they are cognitively advanced in critical thinking, and they have strong feelings in what they know is right.
Okay, Sammy, how do you identify gifted students?
Right, I identify gifted students. There are so many things to identify gifted students. For me, I can elaborate on 3 points. One is that gifted students they have an original idea. Another thing, gifted students they have a high capability of thinking, like they have a cognitive mind. They can analyze things easily, right? And then another point is gifted student. They have strong feelings. They believe on what they say, what they act, the way they said. They think that they right. Right. I want to just elaborate a little about the original idea. When a student have an original idea, he or she thinks that what he know already is what he know. So in the classroom, during the session, the lessons in the classroom, when teacher asks or before a teacher teach something, students already come up with the idea and already focus what will be taught by a teacher, and then they stand on what they think is right, and they stand on what they have known already. So when the teacher asks or when the teacher try to elaborate something about a particular subject, that particular student, the gifted student, is already aware of what the teacher want to say. So that's the point, and that's the thing that I identify in the students. And then the students also they based on what they think, they strongly believe on what they already know is right. And when teachers ask questions or when teachers try to argue about what that particular student know is right, that particular student the gifted students always agree. So he or she thinks that what he knows already is right, and then that's the thing that we have to identify from the gifted students. All right. The other thing is the gifted students have strong cognitive mind, meaning that he or she can able to understand quickly, and he or she can solve problems quickly. When the teacher, before the teacher elaborate on something else, the gifted students already know what's going to be the answer and what's the problem he or she going to solve. So in that, I think I'm still, I have to put something about it. It should be elaborate more, give a fair idea, fair view to the audience. Right. For example, I want to take this into the one of the accounting exercise now. All right. For example, I put the three data here. Three data here, and then the sales here. This one here, debit credit. All right, this is accrual basis. This is accrual basis. All right, when I put this one down, students already know what the three data gonna be a debit or credit, and the sales gonna be debit or credit, because this one is accrual basis, meaning that transaction occurred in a credit basis. So that sales have to be credited, for example, 10,000, and then traded has to be debited 10,000. Before I write this one, the gifted students already know the sales will be credited, and then traded will be debited. So that's the point I'm talking about. The second point is that I'm talking about the gifted students. Gifted students already know what's going to be answer before the teacher is explaining something. Alright, the other thing is that the gifted student, they have strong feelings. For example, on the board there, when the students, he or she already know that the sales will be credited and trade data will be debited, they have strong feelings. They know that the answer is exactly and absolutely correct. And when the teacher don't agree with the answer, or when the teacher go by him or herself with the explanations of what that teacher think is right, students will always agree with it, and students will always find easy way to try to argue and come up with the factual information that go in line with what he or she thinks is right. So give the students the ability to solve problem, and then always have the concluded answer for what he or she thinks is right, and always have the evidence to go with what he or she thinks is right. So that's how the gifted students I define in the classroom. So as I, also you, as we, as our teacher, we have to identify those students. So gifted students is difficult to understand them, difficult to find them, and difficult to differentiate them from the other ordinary students. But the 3 points that I have already mentioned here is what, as a presenter, I make research. I found the type of behavior and the type of patterns that gifted students encounter. I want to ask you something here. How do you identify a particular student in your school? I mean, the particular gifted student in your school.
Okay. There are many ways of signs in which I can identify a gifted students. You can identify a gifted students. But here I would like to mention 3 points out of that 6 points that we are going to present about gifted students within the school context. Firstly, intellectual curiosity and eagerness to explore new concepts or ideas. Intellectual curiosity and eagerness to explore new concepts or ideas enhances learning and improvement. Enhance learning and achievement. That is where interest of the gifted students dive deeply into what they really want to learn. Like they will have high interest to explore deeply into new topics to broaden their understanding. For example, in mathematics, the problem of 25 by 25 is equal to 625. The gifted students, they will try to go further to finding the other way of finding their solution. So I will have to explain how they will go about to identify the other ways to get this solution on that board for you. Like in short mathematical problem, we'll go straight and write 25 times 25 is equals to 625. But the gifted students, they will want to find another ways. So to help them find another ways, they will ask that question: what is another way of finding the solution of 625? So by having this need of identifying new ways, they will end up learning long-term multiplication formula, which is 25 times 25, which is equals to 5 times 5 is 25, carry 2, 5 times 2, 4, 10, 12, down 0, 10, 31, 4, 5. So when you add them, we end up with 625. So another way of breaking this problem into simpler way, they want to use the equation format or algebraic format, which is 20 times 25 plus 5 times 20, 25. 25 times 25, 20 times, they break it into 20 times 25 and 5 times 25. So which equals to 625. So 20 times 25 equals 625, which equates on both sides. So the gifted students agree that they come up with the same solution. So their needs of identifying new concepts leads them to learn new things, like what we have just expressed on our board. Secondly, large vocabulary. Large vocabulary enhances language and comprehension. Figurative languages like symbolic languages like pictures. Pictures are not just the pictures, but they have a message for you. If the students, they will learn something out of their pictures. Lastly, but not the least, independence in work and study. Independence in work and study enhances high standards and self-esteem. Students will have high interest about themselves, that they can do something that they want to do. So they will move one step or two steps ahead from the normal students. Like what we have learned on the mathematical problem, they will have these needs to identify new concepts. So by identifying new concepts and learning new ways of coming up with the same solution, they explore new ideas.
I thank you, Stanley, for elaborating on some of the points to the audience, so that they can now identify which students in the classroom or in the school that has something special, especially with the students. But we will come to conclusion now. To conclude some of the points, I and my fellow colleagues here, Stanley, elaborate already. To the audience, I believe that some of the clarification I have made to identify the gifted students. So it's so difficult to find the gifted students in a classroom. But some of the points that I and my colleagues are still elaborate, I think it's some of the things that the gifted students they have in their daily living in the classroom.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.